Now that we're off track, I can give you more of my thoughts about the equipment. Granted, there is going to be an in-depth comprehensive review in the near future when I get a little bit more hands-on time with this equipment, the pedals, the wheelbase, the wheels to snap into it, the shifter, the handbrake, the whole ecosystem basically. But having said that, I do have some initial thoughts that I do want to share with you. The force feedback is very good, not only in peak strength. I do think that they're underclaiming while other manufacturers might overclaim or just go right on the money with what their peak or holding torque ratings are. I was pretty surprised pulling out of the pit at 70%. It was very strong in comparison to what I was expecting, I guess. More so than that, it was very detailed, and this is not using the new update specifically for iRacing, which takes advantage of the high hertz refresh rate, which is one of the key features that Simagic offers. And in a game like Assetto Corsa, which is from 2014, granted it has some modded physics to make it more modern and feel really good, but it's still not going to take advantage of the most finite details. So maybe something like a ACC or iRacing or the new Assetto Corsa Evo would probably be a better test for it, and I'll be playing those sims / games in the near future with this equipment and sharing that experience as feedback, positives and negatives, in that upcoming review. But a couple things I want to cover right now as I lubricate my pipes. In comparison to all of its competitors that I've seen, Simagic puts its ports and plugs on the side of the wheelbase, which really clutters up the looks in my opinion. I don't know if they're doing this because they have a surplus of mounting options and the dimensions of the wheelbase is physically really tiny, so they might have had to do that. What they don't have to do is plaster stickers on the side and have their logo and a bright LED winking you in the face, which I've covered both with a little bit of electrical tape, but I do think their branding's a little more in your face than their competitors. And the keep racing on the kick pedal is not really my cup of tea, so I'm gonna tip that cup over and vinyl wrap it carbon fiber or something. The brake pedal is a lot stiffer than I expected. It's just out of the box feeling. You can make it stiffer or lighter with the included elastomers, and it does have springs for the clutch and throttle. Clutch and throttle are perfect, and the clutch is amazing. It actually feels like a real car clutch, a little two-stage action, which I've never experienced in pedals. But the brake, if you are going with the hydraulic upgrade or the RS pedals, which include the hydraulic upgrade pre-installed, it's stiff. So you can adjust it, but the out-of-the-box strength is very stiff. The shifter is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to say too much on it here, but the H-gate 8-way shifter, which can also be turned into a sequential, is absolutely fantastic. Their handbrake, I would actually say that the Moza offering on screen here, being compared side by side, is a better option, price to performance bang for buck. It comes down to adjustability. I didn't get so much more feeling out of the more expensive ripstick from Simagic than I did from the little yank me bar from Moza. The buying experience was also not the smoothest. There were a couple things that I wasn't too fond of, but nothing that really soured the experience to where I'm not enjoying the equipment any more or less due to that. There we go. I forgot to set the mood light in there. That's sick looking. God, this webcam sucks. It's the built-in webcam of the MacBook Pro M3, and it's not great. The wheelbase is also missing ports for their shifter and handbrake, so you can't really plug their entire ecosystem into the back to save USB ports like you can with the competitors. And the wheels do not automatically pair to the wheelbase, which I thought was so weird because it's in the same ecosystem. It's the same brand. It's not like you should have to go through some kind of weird pairing process because it's a third-party company. There's also a hum or buzz that comes out of the wheelbase, which is, I've never heard any noise come out of a direct drive wheelbase when it's just plugged in and at idle. Kind of reminded me of like a GPU whine. And there is no on and off switch on the wheelbase. It's on the power plug itself, which I thought was kind of inconvenient for shutting the wheel off after a day of play, considering it doesn't shut itself off when you turn the PC off. So right now the wheel's all lit up behind me, which looks cool. You can't actually see it because the chair isn't reclined enough. You're gonna have to trust me on that. Just like you're gonna have to trust that the review, which is coming in the near future, is going to answer any questions that you might have. So put those down there in the comment section below so I can address those either with my finger fingers, or if it's something that enough people are asking about, I'll put it in the actual review. I would say if you want a good budget ecosystem to get into, Moza's pretty hard to beat right now. Moza. I use that interchangeably. I think a lot of people do. I do believe Moza is the proper pronunciation, but who really gives a gold darn?
Moza.
Simagic is going to be linked in the description below, as well as the Moza R9 wheelbase and KS Wheel, which I've been using extensively over the last month or so. So some of the products that I recommend and have used and am using currently are going to be down there in the description below. I'm going to give my initial impressions of the new Simagic wheelbase, the Alpha Mini, along with their entry-level formula style wheel. Ooh. Was broke my wrist. 70% force feedback currently, which theoretically should be about 7 Newton meters of torque. Also using the P1000 RS brakes, which is the hydraulically upgraded version. Pedals have been calibrated and I have them at 50% stiffness, still pretty stiff. I will say the force feedback is incredibly detailed here in Assetto Corsa. Trying to learn that hydraulic brake, she is stiff. I'm not stiff yet because I'm going pretty slow. We'll get there. We'll plump up in a minute. Well, the force feedback is detailed. The granular details are there, and also I'm at 70% peak strength, and it's jerking and jacking me around. I'm actually bump it down to about 50 or 60 just while I get used to this puppy. Keep in mind, I do have wrists that are the equivalent of toothpicks, and I don't want to snap them on camera or anything. I love this little shortcut, seldomly used by drivers. I use it every fucking time I drive on this track. Turn it into a rally circuit real quick. I did lock up there. Yeah, the force feedback is good, to say the least. I am going to turn the... God, it's gorgeous. I am going to turn the strength down just a skosh. Thoughts on the application? It's not great. You can't full size it like Moza Pit House. I've had to recenter my wheel every single time I turn the wheelbase on. Oh yeah, it's actually off center right now. It's centered up again. A little more better. Put you down to 60%. You're really giving me more than I expected coming from the Moza R9. I also have a 11 Newton meter Logitech G Pro, and this is strong, even at 70 percentile. Let's roll. Oh, there's a mouse cursor in the middle of our view. That done fouled up my first sim video. That was Chris and Jerry. There's Todd jacking off in the trees. You really do feel those suspension undulations. You feel the springs compressing underneath your asshole through the wheel. And the laughter stopped. The punchline was the wall, apparently. right out of the candy bowl. That was not sweet. Trying to find the grip limits, and I did. We're having engine problems now. There we go. That should have fixed it. Did a little on-track repairs, and we are back in it. Saw some kids spitting off the top of the Ferris wheel. Little bastard. You can still see the skid marks on the track from my last lap. The only ones you can't see are the ones on my pants. You just have to trust they're there. It's that shortcut I like to take. So I will say, I am noticing a lot more details, granular details in the road that I did not notice with the Moza R9. A couple people joining the Mile High Club in that hot air balloon. Love is in the air and speed is on the track. What more can you ask for? Riding out that oversteer. Somebody lay me down. Pour buttermilk all over me. Hopefully the camera's picking up these really weird lighting changes where I guess when you get in the tree line, excuse me, smoker's cough, apparently you're getting shade. It's very unnatural, unorganic, unrealistic. It's the opposite of ray tracing lighting. It just goes from light to dark. It's kind of jarring, especially in a racing game. Really fucks with your senses. Right there, boom, did you see that? Hopefully the camera picked that up. Also, I feel like I'm yelling right now. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Uh-oh, my vehicle's done. Is it the vehicle or the wheel? What's going on here? Okay, back to pits for a second. The wheel is still not centered. That is some funky chicken. Also, might not be on a level surface, so get to some level ground. This is downhill, but at least it's oh no, it's not. It's like banked this ways. Whatever, it's not so off axis that it's gonna mess me up driving. I still haven't gotten down the braking point with the P1000s. That corner back there is a perfect indicator of that. I still lock up. Every single time. I will one day remember that there's a god dang piece of the track there. But in the meantime... So initial impressions, good. Good. Very articulate. They're good. Make sure you subscribe to catch that review, and I will see you soon, because I'm about to be editing right now.